Welcome back, beautiful couples. So you are beginning your planning process. You're engaged. You watched last week's beginning to plan video. You have your general location and time frame figured out, and you're starting to get your toes wet in the planning game. Next, you need to figure out your vibe. What is your wedding going to include? Theme-wise, color-wise, design-wise, the overall feel of it. How do you want your guests to walk away feeling after they leave? Is it a light and airy mood? Is it dark and moody? Are you more boho chic? Are you classic and elegant, tropical, rustic? Are you a theme-loving kind of couple? And what are your colors going to be? So we'll touch on the different kinds of vibes that you can choose from, for lack of a better word. That word pretty much, I just feel like there's no other word that I can use other than vibe. So what's your vibe? But if you're just generalizing light and airy, dark and moody, you can bring some bohemian ties into it. You also have a classic and elegant vibe. That's definitely your whites and your light blush pinks, and the more classic, timeless things of a wedding. You have tropical, which I love, and I love a tie of boho in with tropical. We're going to do a styled shoot soon with that as one of the looks, and I'm so super excited for it. We're going to have, on Pinterest I saw a centerpiece with pineapples and coconuts and palm leaves and citrus. The tropical is definitely growing on me. I think it's easing its way out of trends, but I love it. You also have the rustic vibe. That's your farmhouse, your corrals, your barns, obviously the farmhouse tables, more of the country feel. You can also go with something themed. Are you a very colorful personality? Do you love the 50s? Do you love the 80s? Do you love the 70s? Do you love the 20s? Do you want a Disney themed wedding? Do you want a Halloween themed wedding? Those can be very fun, and they can turn almost more into a party. So if that's kind of what you're looking for and how you want your wedding to come off to your guests, and you can even have you can have your guests come in a costume for that theme. It can be so much fun. Definitely memorable, aside from the typical greenery and blush pink and dusty blues that are very in right now. That will definitely make your wedding stand out to your guests. So next is your color selection. This will help bring out the theme that you're trying to go for. And I highly suggest not trying to do something that you don't resonate with. Go with the colors that you usually gravitate towards. I love mauves and creamier tones and whites, even actually whites and light grays. It really kind of just depends on what it is. I'm not a big, bold, bright color lover by any means, so I would not make my wedding bright and bold. I would go more towards a light and airy feel with whites and light grays, and I could also go towards like a cream color and a mauve, just like duller tones. That's kind of what I would gravitate towards. But that's because those are the colors that I usually pick in the things that I buy and the things that I like. So I would choose those colors and go around that because that's who I am. That's, my wedding is about me, it's also about my partner. So who we are as a couple, this is your chance to bring that out through your color selection and through your theme. So now you've begun to plan your wedding, you picked your location and your time frame, or your general location, you know your guest amount. Now you're choosing your theme, what you want your wedding to look like, and you're choosing your colors. Next week we'll talk about creating your budget, and then finding a venue and a date. We'll dive more into detail with finding a venue. We kind of touched on general location, but we'll dive more into finding an actual venue and picking your date. And then we'll talk about vendor selection. So stay tuned. I'll see you next week.